this is Tony Tattoo, and this is Wide Open YYC, and we're coming to you from the deep southwest of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And today I'd like to talk about ISIS fighters and also ISIS brides that want to be repatriated back to their countries. Now, I know that we talked a little bit about it in the last episode, and but we didn't have really very many facts to share with you. But so your humble reporter here decided to do a little fact checking and getting some actually real information together for you. So there's one bride from Great Britain, one from the US, and 4 from Canada that want to be repatriated back to their countries. Now, so far, the US and Great Britain have said, no way, we're not doing it. You made your bed, you lie in it. So, and then Canada, well, we're still kind of hemming and hawing, and I don't think probably anything's going to happen until the next election because they don't want that to be a problem for the government that's in power right now. So one bride claimed that she was kind of feeling a little edgy as people were disappearing in the middle of the night. Yeah, okay. So, and the Canadian ISIS bride from Edmonton was not raised as a Muslim or raised in Islam, but she converted to be able to, as a condition, to be able to marry her ISIS fighter husband, and then basically stated that as an obedient bride in Islam, he'd asked her to come to the Middle East to be with him, with her kids, and as an obedient bride, she went ahead and did it. So, like my mom always said, it's like, well, if Johnny told you to jump off a cliff, would you join it? Or would you do it? So I think she came to a Y in the road at that time and basically took the left fork and left the right. So she packed up her kids, went to join her husband, and the husband got demised. He was shot, and then she remarried and got pregnant with another ISIS fighter, and he got demised, means he got shot. And so now she wants to be repatriated back to Canada. She states basically she wants to raise her kids in a safe environment. Now, I'm not going to offer opinion about this because I really want our public or our watchers or viewers to weigh in on this. I would like you to actually talk to us on Twitter, talk to us on Instagram, give us your feelings, tell us what you think. Should we allow these people to come back to our country after, as far as I'm concerned, aiding and abetting criminals that commit hate crimes? So I'll leave it in your capable hands. Make sure you get on Twitter and Instagram. Let us know how you think.
Yeah, with a sports break here, Tony, we live in Calgary.
We sure do.
The big news this week was the retiring of number 12, Jarome Iginla's jersey.
A legend.
See, a legend. Going back in time, would you still trade Captain Joe Nieuwendyk for Jarome Iginla? Hindsight.
Hindsight? Yeah, I think it was a good move.
Because Joe Nieuwendyk won 3 Stanley Cups. Jarome didn't win anything.
Yeah, but Jarome was a good leader. I mean, Jarome. What I like about Jarome is the fact that he could do the Gordie Howe. He could do the Gordie Howe hat trick. So he could fight, he could score a goal, and he could and assist, and did it quite consistently, actually.
That's very true. That's very true. Joe Nieuwendyk never had anything like that in his career. So, why I was kind of brought that up is I've kind of looked into this, and I've done this comprehensive look
Drink time.
into Jarome's career, and I've kind of noticed that, Calgary wasn't making the playoffs, and then they traded Jarome. The next year they made the playoffs.
Right.
And then he got traded to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh got bounced in the first round. And then the next year they won the Stanley Cup.
Right.
After they got rid of him. And then he went to Boston, and Boston didn't make the playoffs, and then they got rid of him, and the next year they made the playoffs.
That's interesting.
And then he went to Colorado, and they were one of the worst teams in the league. And then they got rid of him, and they made the playoffs. And then he went to LA, and they got rid of him, and then they made the playoffs. It seems like every team gets better once he's gone.
Well, I don't.
It's this weird.
That's actually, like the whole thing is I never even thought about it that way.
It's this weird stigma in Calgary where they're just like, Jarome Iginla. But how many bad contracts were signed? How many draft picks were traded to get a guy in the center who could get Jarome the puck?
I can't speak to that, but to the extent.
Yeah.
But what I can speak to is that I was living in Edmonton during the dynasty. Thank you very much. During the Edmonton Oilers dynasty.
I was born in '88. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's back when Edmonton was a team and they actually won the Stanley Cup a few times.
Okay.
Maybe 4 times, I believe.
Sounds like a myth.
And it's the only time I think that Calgary's won the Stanley Cup was in between the last time, the third time Edmonton won the Stanley Cup and the fourth time they won the Stanley Cup.
It's an off year.
So anyway, that being said, I remember when Wayne Gretzky got traded. All right, so and it was he was traded only for one reason, was because Peter Pocklington, needed money to keep his business going or whatever. So he basically, it was like, Gretzky was his pound of flesh. You could sell him at a high rate. Mm-hmm. So Gretzky went to LA, and actually did not too bad. But so that I can speak to in that experience. But I would really enjoyed going to 4 Stanley Cup parties on Jasper Ave. Woo! And now I'm living in Calgary and I'm a Flames fan because I believe when in Rome do as the Romans do, and Edmonton's just sad.
I was about to say this sport talk really developed into let's shit on the Flames.
Well, we can't really now. We're actually doing pretty good. It's like,
changing gears.
All right, go ahead.
NFL free agency is almost upon us.
Okay.
And we got a player out there.
You would know better than me.
Antonio Brown, who says, I'm making $14 million a year. I want to make $16 million a year. I'm not going to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers anymore. You have to trade me.
Yeah.
So not only is he demanding he gets more money, but he's really devaluing what Pittsburgh can get for him. If he said this privately,
right?
Pittsburgh could trade him and get multiple first-round draft picks. But since he's come out and said, I won't play for this team, teams are saying, well, we'll give you a 4th round, we'll give you a 5th-round pick for him. But so he's really devaluing. What do you think about these athletes who are prima donnas and they don't want to play for the contract that they signed? And play for the team that they've made their bones with, who have given them money, and really devalue the trade value they can get back for them.
I say go home. Fuck off. Get lost and stay there. How's that?
There's another fish, right?
Yeah. Right? Exactly. So it's just like, entitled people bother me. Really, at the end of the day.
That really is what it is.
Or who feel they're entitled. Sorry. Yeah. They're not entitled. They feel they're entitled.
You get this, like it's you're playing a game.
Exactly.
It's the greatest game in the world, football, in my opinion. But
fair enough.
Yeah, you're playing a game. I mean,
yeah.
To treat someone who's given you that much time and effort into your career to just turn around and slap him in the face. I mean.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, boo hoo hoo, go home, right? Like. You throw the ball, you kick the ball, you chase the ball, you touch down the ball. All right, so and you get hit. All right,
yeah.
Good.
Is that
maybe you're taking a few too many hits? How's that?
That's actually we could look into that. Do contract demands and crazy trade values change with as many concussions?
I'm sure they take that into consideration. Like, think about it. That's such a big issue right now. It's like, yeah. I think the guy goes like, I got hit so many times, I think I'm Batman now, it's like...
I hate that, though, when players are like, hey, I had concussions while I was playing. You got to pay me more money. It's like, well, shit, we paid you $60 million already. Like, shit.
$60 million. It's chicken feed.
I understand you're warming up your alphabets in the microwave, but like, you got $60 million for it. Like, shit, didn't you already get that compensation?
I don't know, man. It's like it's. I don't know why we put these people on pedestals. It's like you said, it's a game. You're playing a game. It's like act accordingly.
Yeah. Well, I think we should go get some shots. Shots! And we should wrap it up for this week.
All right.
I was a kid growing up, I saw these goth kids at the mall, despite the fact that there was no stores for them back then, and all they claimed to care about was how much they hated Barbie and Ken and all these people who followed this pattern. But for some reason, they hung out at the mall. Why? So people would go, oh, look at those kids. It was for attention. Same with the emos who wear the bands even though they've never actually cut their wrists. It's all for attention because they don't have any positive attributes in their life and they're ugly as sin. So they have to draw attention to themselves in whatever way possible. It's a shame. You're worth something. Find things you're good at and focus on those. The problem is that it's now morphed into this mental health thing where everybody has a mental health issue. I mean, when I was a kid, if you didn't like something in school, it was because you had ADD. Your parents are like, well, no, my kid's not stupid. He has ADD. No, maybe your kid just fucking sucks at math. I sucked at math. It's fine. I found it boring. I found it unappealing, so I didn't pay any attention to it, and I ended up sucking at it later in life. It doesn't mean I have dyslexia, which is another fucking thing. If you're at work or hanging out with people and you like make a mistake on a math problem, it's my dyslexia. No, you don't have fucking dyslexia. You just kind of suck at math. And that's okay. There are actual people out there who can't read and write because the numbers all jumble up and it's an actual problem. When you fucking joke about how you suck at math and claim it as dyslexia, you're minimalizing actual problems out there. And you're just coming off as an asshole. Oh my God, I have insomnia. No, you don't. You're on your phone at 2 in the morning, texting Facebook. Oh, I can't sleep. Well, no shit, Sherlock. You got a fucking phone in front of your face 5 inches while your thumbs are moving. No wonder you can't sleep. Close your eyes, take some herbal tea before you go to bed, and maybe you can get some rest. This excuses people make for their shortcomings, it's okay. I understand your parents brought you up to never lose in sports and to always pass every grade. So for some reason you built up in your head that you're the end-all be-all, and then when you get into the real world and you find out you actually kind of suck at 90% of the things out there, you got to make excuses for everything. I have anxiety. No, you don't. You just worry about shit. Everybody does. It's fine. There's actual people out there who have heart palpitations and get hospitalized from panic attacks. 90% of you aren't those people. Stop saying that you're having these things when you're really not. You're just worried about shit. Have a beer. It'll be fine. God damn. Stop minimalizing actual mental health issues by A, making light of them, and B, self-diagnosing yourself. You're worse than these WebMD hypochondriacs who go on there with a cold and think they have pancreatic cancer. Oh, I couldn't sleep last night. That must mean I'm depressed. I wake up in the morning and sometimes I just don't even want to go to work. Well, fuck, that's 98% of us. That's why it's called work. Unless you're a rock star or a professional athlete, it fucking sucks. But you know what? That's how you pay the bills. You're not depressed. You just don't like your job. So fucking change it. Do something about it. I'm going back to school because I want to change things. Doesn't mean I'm depressed. It doesn't mean I'm lethargic. It just means I'm making a positive impact in my life. You can do the same. Stop bitching and moaning and making excuses for your shortcomings and get the fucking work.
Hey, this is Tony Tattoo, and thank you for joining us on Wide Open YYC. People, life is short. Just be nice to each other. And remember to subscribe to us on YouTube and share your thoughts on Twitter and Instagram. And remember, keep it between the ditches.